Well, here are some fun facts about vision and learning from the American Optometric Association. 80% of children who are reading disabled have vision problems that can be solved. 25% of kids have a vision problem that is significant enough to affect their performance in school.
That's right. 95% of first grader non-readers have significant vision problems. They have 2.5 times more visual issues than high achievers. Dr. Thomas is here to explain the right eye test to help determine if your children have a hidden vision problem that's holding them back from reaching their full potential. Dr. Thomas, as always, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
So we're talking about these visual skills problems that kids have, and you have a very easy way of demonstrating what those look like.
Yes, yep. I wanted to give some background into these vision problems I'm talking about, because a lot of parents have taken their kids to the eye doctor and everything's 20/20, it's perfect. But I wanted to show you the background of vision. Okay, so vision's actually learned. Just like you learn how to walk, you have to learn how to get your eyes to work together. In fact, you have to learn it with much more fine control. So you have to learn how to get those eyes to work together as a team, to track a moving target, to be able to jump from one target to another, like if you're looking from word to word when you're reading, to be able to focus so that you're actually focused on the right plane, and to be able to get your eyes to share together. So if you don't, you end up getting all kinds of double vision. You get the words moving on the page, and then symptoms like headaches, you get strain, fatigue, that type of thing.
So how do we identify if our child has a vision problem?
There's so many different ways you can ask them. They will never tell you though. Okay, so what it is a lot of these kids, we don't know what they're seeing. So we go through and we assume everything's going perfect. And a lot of times we misinterpret these problems as laziness, disinterest, obstinacy, that's a good one, oppositional defiance, ADD, dyslexia, that type of thing. A lot of times you can ask them if they see vision, see the words like this, but there's an actual better way to do it. You can actually bring them into the office and we can do this right eye test on them. So you can actually, in an objective way, see how their eyes are behaving as they read.
Right, it's called the right eye test again, and it's cutting edge, really. It shows parents what's really happening with their kids' eyes.
Yes, as they're reading and tracking. So what it is, it's a 10-minute screener. You just go in and the technician puts you behind this computer, and the child has to read a paragraph if they're reading age. If not, we just do they follow a dot, and we go through and we measure it, we analyze it, and we end up seeing where their visual skills are at that moment. And as what's really nice, the reading test you're going to see in the video later, the reading test actually shows what grade level reading skills you are at that moment, where your problem is, if it's visual versus comprehension, that type of thing.
So if you're a parent, what are you looking for? How do you know if your child needs this test?
Okay. So I would say every child should do this test, but that's me. But the big four is if your child has lost any interest in reading, if they're having trouble concentrating in class, if they're struggling with schoolwork, or they've ever been diagnosed with a learning issue.
Well, and it's very helpful, I imagine, too, for teachers, right? I mean, our kids spend a lot of time with their teachers, probably more than learning at home in some instances. And so teachers have this struggle sometimes to get the kids to learn. So how does this help teachers, too?
Well, a lot of time what's really nice is there's a printout that you get that day that you do the screening. You can take that printout over to the teacher, so the teacher can actually see where the child's eyes are moving as they're reading the paragraph. So it actually gives, I call them up and I actually tell them certain things they can do in the classroom that they can change to make it easier for the children to access the material.
Because it is so easy for kids to fall behind.
Yes.
So if you give that teacher the tool, you can make sure that child isn't falling through the cracks.
Right. Yep. And then right around in a typical classroom, 90% of the classroom activities are visual activities. So if we can find a way to modify those for the children that are having problems, that'll be a lot easier on them.
And we talk about this all the time, but these are things that a grandparent would notice. Say the parents dropped the kid off with the grandparents, and they're trying to do their homework, and they just can't seem to focus. So really, the whole family tends to notice this, and these tests are really different than anything you can get at any regular eye doctor, right? I mean, it's important to go to a specialist for this reason.
Yes. Only 10% of these visual problems are actually caught in a regular eye exam. Mostly the 20/20 type one. There's about 17 other visual skills that this one does help cover. So you can actually get it so your eyes work together as a team and you can actually concentrate on your schoolwork.
And you are an expert when it comes to kids, so you have a great environment there. So some of these are like games. It's not intimidating for a child to go in and
like
do
video
this.
games,
Well, and you make it even easier for people because there's a report card on your website we're going to point people to where they can go through and check off all these things that they may be seeing. So you really take care of the whole situation of all of the problems that they may be having. We're going to get them to the website, the phone number, etc. But Dr. Thomas, as always, thank you.
Thank you.
And Arizona Vision Therapy is offering the right eye test for $10 until the end of August. That is usually $40. If you'd like to schedule an appointment, you can call them at 520-886, and I'm going to get this number hopefully here, 886-8800, or you can visit ArizonaVisionTherapy.com for more information. And Arizona Vision Therapy is a proud sponsor of the Morning Blend.
And we'll be right back.